YouTube team, keep it clean. What's going on?
Hey, yo, Team Wunderkind, what is good? Hello. Yo,
Oh, we done made it, man. We done made it.
back like we left something.
Yeah, because we did leave something, the audio for the previous recording.
Y'all gonna laugh at this bad.
Yeah, and we going to get started again in a little bit, but we literally sat here, recorded for 48 minutes.
Yes.
No audio.
No.
So we had to run it back, but it's all good. But we here live from Playaction Soulfood.
Yes.
Here in Pompano. Shout out to Lamar for allowing this to happen. Shout out to the whole staff here at Playaction Soulfood because they've been better than great. And then the food has been better than great. Everything been on point, man, from top to bottom. So
amazing.
We appreciate everybody involved with the whole process. But shout out to Nitro for, he shot his shot. He said, hey, I want to record an episode in the restaurant. Lamar gave him the green light, and he here now. So shout out to Nitro, man.
Hey, listen, man. I'm loving it. We here. We gonna get into sports. We gonna talk food. We gonna talk everything. All right. This is for the Ravensflock. You feel me? And you know what I brought to this too? The sounds, baby. So we're gonna get this popping. All right. So, Ink.
Okay.
First question. What do you see the Ravens' ceiling really being for this year and going forward after the signing of one named Lamar Jackson?
Just continuity with elevation.
Yeah.
The reason I use both of those words, obviously continuity, because they're keeping their quarterback. And that's the most important piece of this whole thing. And moving forward, everybody has a clear direction of what's going on with the quarterback. Because before, especially if he would have been on a franchise tag, if he would have played this year on a franchise tag, which I never anticipated him doing, but if he would have, then there would have been like, oh, man, what's going to happen with Lamar? What could happen with Lamar?
Exactly.
Will he be all into it? Will his head be in the game? Da-da-da-da. But now that the contract is done, it's a wrap, nobody has to wonder about that. So now, with them, the Ravens have invested in Lamar in a couple different ways now, which we appreciate. Great job, Ravens. Thank you.
Shout out CDC.
Yeah.
Hey.
But with the Ravens having invested in him now, they have an opportunity to take this thing to another level. Ravens have made several significant changes this offseason that can really make this a much better football team. They've done it with coaches. They've done it with personnel. And they've done it with philosophy, really. So if they can keep on going in this direction, I could definitely see elevation for them this season.
Bro, I got big hopes for this season, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Big hopes. Let me say this, right? When we look at so far what the Ravens have been able to accomplish in the past, they've done it with very rudimentary passing game. Mm-hmm. They've done it with a lack of offensive weapons, right? And they've done it with literally working Lamar into the ground. Right? So now you're giving Lamar options.
Yeah.
This is why I try to tell people, you are capturing the creative mind of the fans. Because no longer are we watching that Lamar would have to be Superman, a.k.a. Clark Kent, every Sunday. He can have days where he's just like, time to pick y'all apart, baby. You get a ball, you get a ball, you get some balls too. Pause.
And with that, it's nice because obviously Mark Andrews has established himself as one of the best tight ends in the game. And that's a wonderful thing. That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of times with Ravens offense, it was like Mark Andrews or bust. You would get some help from some other guys sometimes, but consistently it was always Mark Andrews usually doing his thing. And again, that's not a bad thing that he was doing his thing, but now you added an Odell Beckham Jr.
Yeah.
You added Nelson Aguilar. You got Rashad Bateman coming back. You got Devin Duvernay coming back. You added an Odell Beckham Jr. So now with that, and you got J.K. Dobbins coming back, and he should be even better this year since he'll be healthy. You have Gus Edwards coming back, and he should be even better this year because he'll be healthy. You got Justice Hill. You have options. You have even more options, and when you have more options, that makes life easier for everybody. It doesn't just have to be like, all right, we'll focus on Mark Andrews, take him out the game, and you ain't got to worry about nothing no more. No, man, you got number 3, you got number 7, you got so many different people, and then
You got the Power Rangers.
yeah, then after all of that, you got number 8 that you got to worry about.
Yes.
So just in case he decide, you know what, I feel like taking off. You can take off.
You're going to ask the defense, have you ate yet? Yo, bro. But for real, I totally agree with that, man. When you're looking, I was actually talking about this in one of my previous videos. You know, it takes the burden off of the coaches. That's the part people aren't realizing. You have a new OC coming in, right? He's coming in and he's having it that he can have these guys there and use them, not force feeding one guy. They don't have to call the best game. They don't have to do the most work. They can just call some simple stuff, and then they can just spread the ball around. Instead of saying, I have to come up with a perfect play every single time, because if they don't, it won't work. Why? Because they're leaning on Lamar. They're leaning on Mark. And they're saying, it's either you two or, oops, sorry. And guess what? I don't see in the foreseeable future of this OC not using JK if he's hot. Right? Okay, that's my point with this. It makes the coaching job easier to talent alleviate stress. And we all know that stress can make diamonds, but stress busts pipes. Pressure busts pipes. And with this stuff right now, we don't need any more pipes busting in Baltimore.
That's a really, really good point. It reminds me of, I would think about like a teacher. If a teacher, she has a lot of kids that are failing his or her class.
Yeah.
Then that teacher could be looked at like a bad teacher, even if that teacher had success at previous schools and whatnot. But if she has a lot of students like getting A's and B's and stuff, then that teacher's gonna look much better, and it's gonna make that teacher's job a lot easier, because she has so many talented students, and they can go on and do different things, and then she'll get a lot of credit too. And that's like what you were talking about with the coaching staff.
Yeah.
The more talented players they have, it makes their job easier.
Way easier.
So
man.
yeah, I like that, and that's something that I've been on for years now. Just the Ravens making not just Lamar's job, certainly Lamar's job easier, but just really making everybody's job easier. And they really, like Eric DaCosta this offseason,
Yeah.
he has stepped like way out of the box.
Way out.
With stuff that he would normally never do. He's doing it this year.
Out of their comfort zone.
Yeah, way out of the comfort zone.
Way out of their comfort
Like,
zone, man.
Yeah, it ain't even close to whatever their comfort zone was before. they in a distant land beyond that, man. So and part of that was with the Odell Beckham Jr. signing, because I remember when they signed Nelson Aguilar, I'm like, all right, Nelson Aguilar, they're straight. Not the best, not the worst, but it can't be it. But
Yeah.
I was expecting like, oh, but these are the Ravens, so Nelson Aguilar, they run the risk of him just being it, and then be like, all right, let's run it. But I was hoping that it wouldn't be. And then, about the month later, I think, however long it was later, we hear talks about them being interested in Odell. We hear, they want to sign Odell to a deal. We hear they offered Odell a deal. We hear all this stuff. And y'all know me. I was like, we done seen this before.
We viewed this video.
It probably ain't going to happen. But
it did.
yeah, it went down. And it didn't only go down, but the Ravens, they made it to where there was going to be no competition between them and other teams for Odell Beckham Jr. They spent that bread on Odell.
Yes.
Like $15 million guarantee. Like $15 million guarantee. Like what? Ravens gave that?
For 1 year.
Yeah.
Hey.
I'm like, man, I remember seeing the terms of the deal, and I'm thinking, like, what Ravens are these?
Can you imagine Odell thinking he wasn't going to get that, and the Ravens say, hey, we'll give you that $15 million. He's probably in there talking about some. Yo.
I'm like, man, it just threw me off, but I was thrown off in a good way, though. I was happy about it because, hey, scared money don't make money, and you gotta spend money, man.
Yeah, you got it.
And hopefully they will get that return on investment, but I like that they stepped out there and they went for it, because normally that's not something that they would do. Normally they would play it safe. But with Odell Beckham Jr., it's not safe. And let me ask you, the last time that we saw Odell Beckham Jr., how did he look? Did he? Because a lot of people say, when you talk about Odell Beckham Jr., they say, oh, he's washed. He ain't the same. He can't play no more. He's over the hill. How did Odell look the last time that we saw him?
Let me tell you how he looked. He looked like a Super Bowl champion to me. Touchdowns. Listen, if it wasn't for the injury, he was going to get the Super Bowl MVP.
That's what it was looking like.
He was cooking them, cooking the Bengals. You ever had Cap? Odell did. So when I look at that, I'm like, bro, if he could even get back to that, and that wasn't even, remember, he was hurt. It came out that he was hurt that entire time, and they knew it, but he was playing on it. If he gets back to even that, my God, it's a beautiful day, and I will be there to laugh at every opponent as they get ramrodded and run through. Because what are they going to be able to do? No, seriously. What are they going to be able to do, Ing? When you go into think about this real quick. Lamar Jackson-led offense is second, right? Since he's been in the league, only behind Patrick Mahomes. That's a Patrick Mahomes with probably the greatest receiving tight end this league has ever seen, with one of the greatest offensive play callers this league has ever seen.
That part.
And a multiple-time Super Bowl winning OC. So when you take all that into consideration and say, well, a Lamar-led offense did all that, what he had, what is he going to do when now you can't double Mr. Andrews? And we all know how people like to play Lamar. They like to put somebody down in the box just in case he wants to go off script, right? Where's that safety going to be? You think they're going to leave Bateman one-on-one all game? You think they're going to leave OBJ one-on-one all game? You think they're going to leave Zay Flowers all game by himself? Bro, I am going to enjoy the amount of blowouts. You want me to tell you something too, Ing? What a lot of people that are watching are taking advantage of? These Ravens, they've been listening to everything. You understand what listening means? That means paying attention. They've been hearing all of the doubts. They've been hearing all the hate. They've been hearing all this stuff. So what you're getting is you're getting an annoyed and frustrated Lamar, right? You're getting an annoyed, frustrated JK. You're getting an annoyed, frustrated Harbaugh. You're getting an annoyed, frustrated Mark Andrews. You're getting an annoyed, frustrated Bateman. And you're getting a very, very spry Zay Flowers and a newly refreshed OBJ. Bro, it's going to be gangbusters, and they're not going to be blowing out teams regularly. Remember, back in 2019, when they were doing all what he was doing, he threw those 36 touchdowns, right? He was sitting out all those fourth quarters. I did the math on this thing. I did the math. 2.75 amount of time he missed that season. That's almost 3 games worth of time that Lamar missed. That means he was sitting on the sideline chilling because they were blowing out the opposition. Now because y'all been kept talking, now because you pissed him off, he's going to try to blow y'all out. So now when he's up by 15 or 20, he's not going to sit on the sideline with his shades. Oh, no, that nice Lamar, the happy-go-lucky Lamar, you guys ruined that for yourselves. You're going to get pissed off Lamar, and he's going to blow y'all out with Mark Andrews, Bateman, and company, because they're going to want to get their numbers also, because some of those guys are trying to get their new contracts, like one named Bateman. Right? Oh, and OBJ, even though we're paying him, he's on a 1-year deal. So he's technically auditioning for the next team, if not for us, next season. Bro,
that's true.
I feel sorry for y'all. I really do.
I don't feel sorry for nobody, man. Especially if the Ravens go off like they should, like they got the potential to. I don't feel sorry for nobody.
What do you think the ceiling is for games? Oh,
it's 17 games. I know that there's some hiccups here and there. With health, health is the
if
biggest
health is
thing.
good, what are you picking, bro? I'm looking at you straight. What are you picking in?
If they healthy with that squad, give me another corner first. Give me another corner, or maybe another 2 corners. But give me 15 and 2.
Woo!
Give me 15 and 2.
15 and 2.
We're healthy, yeah. 15 and 2.
Man.
15 and 2.
Man,
and that's coming from me. Y'all know, like,
he nicer than me.
I ain't with no, Ravens, they're going to be perfect. No. Y'all already know. So, yeah, give me 15 and 2 if they healthy and another corner.
If they're healthy, and they get another corner, this Raven team will threaten the perfect season. They'll have the opportunity to do it. Am I saying it's going to happen? Think about this thing. I want to keep it in perspective. I know you people going to come for me. Oh, Nitro's putting expectation on us. To those with the most, expectation is required. You understand where I'm coming from? This team is one of the best scoring teams, even with Greg Roman, even with the lack of weapons. And now you're going to have a Roquan that's a full off-season ingratiated into the defensive program. You're going to have all these players. Marcus Williams is going to be healthy. These players are going to be healthy. All of these players are going to be ingratiated with the playbook. All these players some of them are going to be playing for, guess what? Money. Because what came out today about a certain linebacker that didn't get a fifth-year option picked up?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You see what I'm saying? So he's playing. So he's not going to just tackle you no more. He's going to try to blow your face off. Bro, listen, I don't usually feel sorry for my opponents, but I really feel sorry for y'all. Because if y'all think that they're just going to say, oh, y'all waved the white flag and that's all, I'm telling you, this team, if they can remain healthy and focused, this team will be able to threaten a 17 perfect game season and a Super Bowl to put the cherry on top.
Well, yeah, that's the most important thing. And I'm glad you said the word focus just now, because I think that's important.
Yeah.
Because people can have all the motivation in the world that they want to.
Yeah.
They can be as motivated as they can be, but if that motivation and that energy it's not channeled the right way, then it's not going to mean anything. And you could be out of control. So it's important that how motivated the Ravens can be. Obviously, it starts with Lamar Jackson because he done heard everything already, continues to hear everything. And now with the contract, even though it's behind them now, it's still going to be brought up. Any mispass, somebody going to be, oh, you didn't deserve the contract. Any interception, hopefully there will be none. It'll be nice, a little perfect season, no interception. But any interception, oh, he didn't deserve it. Any missed, oh, he didn't deserve anything that he does. You know how it goes already. Because that's how it was last year. Anytime he messed up, people are like, oh, see, he doesn't deserve it. But anyway, he got it. So even if somebody feel like he don't deserve it, he got it. He got his bread, so he can't even say nothing. But go ahead.
I'll say this, too. For the doubters, for the team. Because I've been hearing a lot of, stuff coming about, the front office and Lamar had to settle and take what was given and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know you heard that, right? What other option did the Ravens have? Hear me and hear me well when I say this. Have y'all seen the AFC? Have y'all... Hold up. I want y'all to really understand this, right? For as vaunted and as good as everybody's saying that this defense can be, do you think that defense for 4 quarters can hold out against Patrick Mahomes,
Chiefs,
Josh Allen,
Bills,
Justin Herbert,
Chargers,
Trevor Lawrence,
Jaguars. Yeah, we played them next year too.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers,
the Jets. Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa.
Them Dolphins, we played them next year too.
And they beat us last time, right?
They sure did.
Oh,
remember the 6 touchdown game?
The 6 touchdown game, right? Deshaun Watson.
Oh, the Browns. We see them 2 times a year.
Joe Burrow.
And we see them 2 times a year. Last year 3. Yeah.
Bro, what are we doing here? There was no alternative. When you have a player at that level, he gives you the best chance to win. And that's even with a lack of absolute weapons that he could depend on in crucial situations. Operative word. Crucial situations.
Yeah.
Okay? So that's what I'm saying. I wanted to address that because I heard this so bad going through the flock of, and then you heard Stephen A. come on ESPN and even say, he was smart. And you heard, what's his name? I hate bringing up his name. Mike Florio saying, he wisely took it, when you have to understand that, listen, this was a negotiation, right? It's a negotiation. There's gonna be highs, there's gonna be lows. You'll always shoot for the moon, but you shoot high enough that if you fall from the moon, you're still amongst the stars. That's how you do business. But this trope that they'd be fine without him, and Tyler Huntley would be able to leave us to the Super Bowl. Yo, get out of here with that. That's lying. Bro, be real. What do you think about it? Am I tripping?
I like Tyler Huntley. He's cool, man.
Cool,
I mean,
no hate to Snoop.
Right, and he's from over this way too.
Yeah.
But he's just a different quarterback than Lamar Jackson is. Like you mentioned earlier, Lamar gives the Baltimore Ravens the best chance to win. He gives them their best, and there've been games too where I think two of the biggest ones that I remember where I was like, no, love the Ravens, but they losing this game for sure. One of them was in 2019 against the Seahawks. I was for sure. I remember always saying, hey, the Ravens, they're going to lose this game by at least 10. I was obviously wrong. And the Ravens, maybe they even won by 10 or more, but Ravens won that game. I'm like, wow. And then the other game where I felt that way, I think it was the 2021 season. Yeah, it was 2021. I know
which one you're going to say. I know exactly which one you're going to say.
Against the Chiefs.
Yes.
I was for sure, oh, yeah, love my Ravens, man.
Yep.
Love them all, but we're losing this game. Chiefs, like Lamar said, they are kryptonite. They got us. Our team, a lot of our guys are hurt. And I was like, yeah, we're going to lose this game. Nope. And I'm sure y'all could think of other games, too, where you might have felt like, oh, the Ravens going to lose. And whether the Ravens did lose or not, if the Ravens were right there in it. But with other quarterbacks, those wins don't happen. The games like that don't happen.
Exactly.
So that's why with Lamar Jackson, it was of the essence to make sure this thing got done and that they kept him. And, I do really believe that it wasn't just the contract that kept him around, but it was a lot of the other significant moves the Ravens made this offseason and how they made them that really kept him around. There's a couple of things. Obviously, with the offensive coordinator, they moved on from Greg Roman, and with the Ravens, I felt like that should have happened a couple years ago. Yeah. But okay, it took them a little extra time. Sometimes they can be loyal to a fault. It happens, but they did it. They moved on from Greg Roman. They did the mutually parting the ways with Greg Roman. So all right, cool. But then they also moved on, and whether this was because of the survey that was coming out or just coincidence, who knows? But they moved on from Steve Saunders.
How you get an F-?
Hey,
that man got a minus after an F. You don't listen. Listen.
Yeah, that's lower than low.
Can you imagine come on with an F- so you're a poor car?
I probably did before a couple of times.
Oh God!
But they moved on from Steve Saunders, so that was big. Bringing in Todd Monken, that was big. But also personnel and Nelson Aguilar, but bringing in Odell Beckham Jr. and the way they brought in Odell Beckham Jr. I think these were all things that really show Lamar, like, hey, we're trying now. We're trying to do better. We're trying to really get this thing going for you. So we got your back. We really gonna move in a different direction now. So it seems like the Ravens, their philosophy is headed in a different route. Is taking a different route. And again, this is something that a lot of us have been talking about for years, but the Ravens are now seeming to pivot. So let's hope that continue. Oh, and then another thing too. Obviously, this happened after the contract, but during the draft, which direction were the Ravens gonna go in? Some people thinking receiver, a lot of people thinking corner, since they just signed Odell Beckham Jr. and da-da-da-da. And for them to steal, despite Bateman coming back, despite signing Odell, despite signing Nelson Aguilar, despite Duvernay returning, despite all of that, and then, of course, some guys on the practice squad, too, they still used their first-round pick on Zay Flowers.
Yup.
They still did. And when I saw that, I was like, okay, especially with him being from Broward, too. I mean, that helps a lot, too.
Who does he remind you of? Before you go any further, who does he remind you of?
No, a lot of people said Steve Smith Sr. Some people even say Hollywood Brown, but to me, I see Antonio Brown. He reminds me of AB a lot.
Oh, my God, if he turns into that, my God.
I mean, if he turns into any of the three, we'll be in good hands. But,
it's over.
He's explosive. He's obviously a shorter receiver. He's like 5'9", 5'10", but he's lower to the ground. But he's still explosive. He can make plays. He is not afraid to be physical. I remember when I watched film on him, just watching the plays that didn't even go to him, like a running play. He ain't afraid to run up to a cornerback and engage with him and block him.
Stick him.
So yeah, he's not afraid. He does not play scared, anything like that. And he gets after it. And again, the yak, him being an explosive player, you can never, ever, 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 ever have enough of those.
Never.
You can never have too many of them.
You can't.
And the thing with the Ravens too, it's like they have different options in the receiving game because you got an Odell Beckham Jr., you got a Rashad Bateman who we really learned about last year in terms of this, and you got a Zay Flowers, all who can stretch the field. And Devin Duvernay can too, but you got guys that can stretch the field, but they can also work the underneath stuff as well. So you got options because we've seen Bateman do it. You know Zay Flowers can do it. You know, Odell Beckham Jr., he could do it too. So they have options of guys that can beat you in several different ways. And then on top of that, so it's like if you come out with 2 receivers, you come out with 3 receivers, you can't be like, all right, depending on what receiver the Ravens bring out here, then if it's a passing play, it's only going to be a short pass because this guy he only does the short routes and all that.
Very good point.
You have
telegraphing,
options,
man.
Yeah, and since you got options, that puts you in a much better spot.
Yeah.
So that's going to be nice to see.
You know what's crazy? I keep hearing everyone talk about Zay Flowers, and I'm one of the people that were like, oh, I really wanted Tank Dell. That was the guy I wanted. But I'll tell you something right now. If Zay Flowers can even be half of what people are saying he can be, it's going to be absolutely bombastic, to say the least. Because, I mean, who are you comparing him to? Steve Smith Sr.? A.B.? Bro, and listen, when you look at and you say that you see him in Hollywood, because you hear that comparison,
right.
The only thing that's similar between him and Hollywood is that they're both from down here and they're short and they're fast. That's it. That's where the similarities end.
Yeah.
Hollywood has rare top end speed, another gear that he could take to get on the top of any defense in the NFL. There is not a safety that Hollywood cannot threaten with simply him running directly at them. There is none. Okay? There is none. This guy, he's like scrap, bro. He's like, give me the ball. If the ball's in the air, his mindset is it's mine. How dare you go for it? Like, that's his mindset. And if he could bring, that's almost like a Raven mentality in a receiver. We're used to having Raven mentality in linebackers, corners, safeties, shout outs to the GOATs. You feel what I'm trying to say? Yeah. Bro, but not on wide receiver. If he can translate that, my God. It's bro, it's almost it's like a drug almost, because you're sitting there like you want to think the most right now, right? But it's like you're trying to force yourself that you can't, because you don't want to get lost in it. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like I'm looking at it like, bro, the ceiling, this, we're going to be able to do this, we're going to be able to do that. But if you keep thinking like that, it's like, but we still got to pump the brakes, because they still have to perform. Yeah. They still have to perform.
Yeah, they really do, man. But it is nice to think about it, though. It's nice to think about
very nice.
The possibilities of this Ravens offense, and really just the team as a whole. Because and obviously health is wealth. That's the real deal right there. Health is wealth, and so is cornbread. Cornbread from Playaction is wealth as well.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, this food is fire, bro.
Yeah, it is really good, man.
And I don't want to hear no fat jokes neither. He ate his food before I did.
Hey, y'all can say him about me all day.
Yo.
One thing right now that we don't know about these Ravens is how they're going to perform, both offense and defense. And I mean, you could call that a mystery right now, because we just don't know.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's also the name of this drink from Playaction Soulfood. It's a mystery drink, and it's really, 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 really good. I don't know what it is because it's a mystery, but it's really, really good. So we're hoping that the Ravens, their offense and defense, their entire team turns out the same way as that drink. You don't know what it is. You don't know what it's going to be, but it ends up being great. And when you think about the defense, man, you brought up Roquan Smith, now him having a full off season.
Yes.
With Patrick Queen, we'll see if he's here. I would love for him to stay. Even though they declined his fifth-year option, you talked about just the motivation that he could possibly be playing with just to prove to the Ravens or prove to whoever the next team could be, like, hey, I'm one of them, man. I'm one of them, and I deserve to get my bread. I can play. Y'all know I could ball out, and I'm gonna show you. Now, how are you feeling about the Ravens pass rush? Because I think that's a big question mark right now. Okay, I think you answered the question already.
Listen, bro, I'm gonna be real with you. Look, hope for the best, plan for the worst. You know what I'm saying? Look, we're looking at it from a standpoint of saying we're hoping some guys come back healthy, right?
Right.
And we're hoping that the new acquisitions can play and be successful from jump. But there's a big hole that's missing. Okay, Calais Campbell was the anchor of that line. I don't care what anybody says.
Right.
You can argue with somebody else. He was the anchor. So can the ship still sail and go where it needs to go? You know what I'm saying? If that anchor is not there. And the pass rush, is Justin Houston coming back?
No,
Wasn't he our sack leader?
Yeah, 9.5 of them.
You get where I'm coming from? How did he didn't get 10? How he didn't get 10?
He was tired too.
Listen, hold up. Before we go any closer, right? Before we go any further, can you show them one of the wings, bro? Cause here's the thing. Y'all be thinking I'm tripping, right? Can you show them your wing, bro?
Oh, yeah. I mean, before we get into that, we talking about pass rush, but also got concerns for the secondary. Because one of the terms that people will call a bad secondary, a bad corner, they say is baked chicken. And even though this is not baked chicken, this is chicken tenders, they're fried, we don't want our secondary to turn in like these. These are really good, but we don't want nobody on our secondary getting fried.
No.
So hopefully that goes down. But yes, these are the chicken tenders with fries that are really, really good. And now,
wait, you see this?
That's like the appetizer, man.
Bro, look at this thing.
The smothered turkey wings. I don't want to turn. See, I'm already spilling already. I'm about to spill it all over my phone. But hopefully y'all can see that good. But the smothered turkey wings,
bro,
with lima beans and collard greens.
It's the size of my face.
And rice too, man.
Yo.
Like, they hooked it up, man. They really did. So again, shout out to Playaction. They came through in a major way. Man.
How you get a turkey with that big, bro? I gave it the plate.
Yeah, I don't know where these turkeys came from, but they good, man.
Oh, God. Arnold Schwarzenegger turkeys.
Yeah, I love it, though, man.
Oh, bro, listen, I know y'all watching, but we're having fun being out here, man. Oh, my God. We came out, we teamed up on this, and they just totally ingratiated us from the time we came in here. Great service, great food. If the food was not good, trust me, as a member of some of the bigger race of human beings, I would tell you it's not good. The food melts in your mouth, bruh. Yeah. Hold on. Just so y'all understand that I'm not joking, because we already ate some of the food. Yeah. Look at this.
Yeah, it's out of there, man.
And look at that big wing right there. I couldn't even eat all of it, bro. One plate could feed 2 people. It's a sin. Bro, man, shout outs to Play Action. Great people, great service. Lamar, man, you got something here, man. You need to open one in Maryland, bro. You might need to open one in Vegas, too. Man. But for real, being out here, having fun, talking sports, loving it with my man Ing. Bro, thanks for being out here, by the way.
I mean, we live out here, so ain't no problem, man.
Yeah, lucky for him. 3 hours I had to drive to get 3 hours.
It's worth it, though.
It was worth it, bro. It's worth it. I gave it it's worth it. It's worth it.
Like, opportunities like this don't just happen every day, man. So,
yeah, man. Fun, man.
Shout out to you for being dedicated like that to make that little drive down, man.
Yeah, man. Don't worry.
So
I'm singing
right
Oh Happy Day all the way. As long as I'm thinking about them Ravens and what this offense can be. Oh Happy Day. Bro, you think I hit that note, too. I know you watch Sister Act. I hit that note.
Oh, Whoopi Goldberg. Oh, yeah.
I'll hit that note, too. With Jesus. Yeah, I'll hit it. Don't play with me. Listen, man. I'll say this, though. The Ravens have done something that they haven't done in a long time since they drafted Lamar. And they've captured the imagination of the entire fan base in its entirety. even people, Doom Patrol, we all have names for, Doom Patrol, Purple Patrol, the people that fall in between. The imagination of the average Raven fan is off the charts right now because people are just imagining what this team could be. And especially when it was announced that he had signed, Mr. Jackson, the record contract, and got that out of the way. You know what I mean? It just let us further know, like, oh my God, he's here, and he's not going nowhere. And you gave him OBJ, and now you got Zay Flowers, and you still got Bateman, and you got Mark Andrews, and you got Likely, and you got Dobbins, and you got Gus, and you got Ronnie. Let me tell you something right now. It's almost unfair with the feeling how we're feeling as a fan base. Because as long as that imagination is running wild, it's hard not to get swept away by it, bro. No, it's hard not to.
It's fair, because we've been waiting on this for a while. Man.
He's like, it's fair.
It's fair, man. A lot of this stuff that
shout out to EDC, man, for getting it done.
Shout out to them. A lot of the stuff that they doing now, in my opinion, it should have been done years ago. But we are glad that they are taking this route, these steps, especially because it's like the way that they have been doing things, just really playing it very, very safe. It's like, they've been doing that for a while. They've been doing that for years, but had it worked? Did it work? No, it hasn't. Nah. So why not step out there, try something different, shake it up. I can't even say shake it up a little bit, shake it up a lot like they did, and really put yourself out there. Put yourself out there and go for it. So I'm glad they finally doing that. So let's see how it goes.
They accepted void years finally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I know that scared a lot of people. They like, void years. No, don't do void years. No, do the void years.
Do the void years.
Like, come on, man.
What is the future without the present? Like, seriously. Like, if you're always thinking about the future, the present will pass you by.
And it has.
It had. It almost fully had. You feel what I'm trying to say? Like, and I think that mindset, that's why I said that the Ravens are getting out of their own way.
Yeah.
They're rectifying and they're fixing what needs to be rectified and fixed. And us as a fan base are elated by it because we've been screaming for the top of our lungs for them to do this for years. And they're finally doing it. So that's why everybody's so elated. Look, man, this week has been like Christmas. Could you imagine something like this would happen during Christmas? We wouldn't even need presents. This would have been the perfect present underneath the tree. Think of what were you doing when you heard that the news came through? It's like, the Ravens just got OBJ, and later on, a couple weeks later, the Ravens just signed Lamar Jackson.
What was I doing when they signed Odell Beckham? I really don't even remember. But whatever I was doing, I was getting home to record that video because I was hyped about it. I was happy because I really did not think. You know what? As a matter of fact, I think I was home already because actually, okay, I remember now. Because that same morning, I had actually already recorded a video and I talked about how I thought the chances of them signing Odell Beckham Jr. were not likely. Literally that same morning. Okay, I'm glad you asked because it's bringing it up to my memory, man. Because I did not see it happening at all. A couple hours later, boom. Yeah, and you know what? I know some people. What do you say if you're loud and wrong? Then what? What did you say?
If you're loud and wrong, then your apology better be equally as loud.
Oh, there we go. So I was happy to be loud and wrong. I was very happy to be loud and wrong about that. I was happy to be loud and wrong about that. I was happy to be loud and wrong about them re-signing Lamar Jackson because y'all remember earlier this offseason, I didn't think it was going to happen. But when they signed Odell Beckham Jr., that's when my mind changed on that, but still. So I'm glad to have been wrong about those two things. Like even somebody, I think I was saying in another video, somebody had messaged me, and they were like, "Oh, see, you were wrong about Lamar Jackson." Like,
happily,
I'm great.
Happily wrong.
Like, you think I'm gonna get upset about that? No problem. Hey, I'm glad to be wrong about that.
Yeah, like who wants to be right about that? Oh, he's going somewhere else. No one wants to be right about that.
Yeah, so I'm just glad that worked out because that was obviously huge, and that could have been a very, very big distraction if it going on another season. So I'm glad that that's squared away. We don't have to worry about the ifs, the maybes, the what could be's, the way he could possibly end up. That's done. That's it. So, yeah, Lamar locked in, man. So with him being locked in, that can help lock the team in, and things could just move forward, man.
Bro, after it happened, I remember watching his draft video again. Someone had posted his draft video, and it was just like, I'm a Raven. It's on. And I remember him asking, Lamar, like, well, what are they gonna get? They're gonna get everything out of me. They're gonna get a Super Bowl out of me. And you could see. Listen, let me tell y'all something. You could always tell, because y'all not from Florida. Some people are not from Florida, right? I lived here the majority of my life. When you see someone look at you sideways, and they bite that bottom lip as a man, either they're about to do something to you or they're pissed off, right? I'm telling you this right now. When he said the words, believe that, when he was biting up, believe that, he meant it. And now we have an invigorated QB. We have a new offensive coordinator, right, who I'm praying to all the heavens above will just call these games and just diversify the passing game, uplift the passing game. And we have the weapons that he has. Yeah. I mean, truthfully, honestly speaking, the year he led the league in passing touchdowns, Hollywood was hobbled. Yeah. He was hobbled. Yeah. We're getting Zay. We're getting Bate. We're getting all these guys. Bro, I really think with this team, as constructed right now, and mind you, I do want Marcus Peters back. I'm saying if we get him back. The Super Bowl, it could really be a reality for us, man.
It could be. It really could be. And that would be really nice, too. If, obviously, I mean, winning the Super Bowl is the best.
I'm going to be there.
That would be great. I don't know if I would be there.
I'll drop in with a parachute.
Oh, okay. And you would drop out in handcuffs, too. But yeah.
Like, freeze! I'm like, nah!
Man, yeah, I mean, that's obviously the ultimate goal. But this offseason is really, seem like the Ravens are trying to obtain that goal. Because in past off seasons, it seemed like they're like, oh, okay, if a Super Bowl happens, okay, cool. But this off season, again, they've been stepping out, like you mentioned, stepping out of their comfort zone.
Yes.
So it seems like they're really going after it.
You know what? Take it a step further. They're embracing expectation. Expectation, bro. A lot of times, and look, y'all watching this, you tell me if I'm wrong in the comments. The Ravens have ingratiated, have built, have ingrained the idea of being the underdog into everything that we do.
Oh, yeah.
Everything. We get it out of the mud. Yeah. We get it. You don't see us coming. You get where I'm coming from? And now with them doing what they're doing now, it's the yellow signals, all the bright lights are flashing over Baltimore. This is not the way the Baltimore Ravens usually like to come at people. They like to be the underdog, okay? They don't like to be the hunted. They like to be the hunter. But when they made these moves, I say this right now, they're being hunted now. Because expectation is now been placed at the foot of one named John Harbaugh. Because just like how some people say, we're hoping that these players pan out. Right? We're hoping everybody pans out, everyone can stay healthy. But here's the kicker. If these players play well and they're panning out and injuries aren't happening, what's going to be the excuse for Mr. Harbaugh if we don't get the job done? Because you know it's going to fall at his feet.
That's a really, really good point. Yeah. Because you got your quarterback. Yeah. You got some weapons now. And it obviously all just depends. It's not a black and white type of thing. It's not It all just depends on how everything comes together, and hopefully doesn't fall apart. So yeah, that's gonna be something worth watching. I mean, as it always is, because coaching plays a big role in everything. Obviously, everything starts at the top with the ownership, GM, coaching, and it trickles down to the players too, as far as execution and everything. So hopefully this year the message is from the top, like, hey, we want to win. So it's the Super Bowl. Not we just want to win 10 games, 11 games. No. We want to win the Super Bowl. Because if that's the message that's being conveyed from the top, it has to start at the top and then go down. then it can make the team that much better.
Listen, man, I'm just praying for the best. I'm just praying for the best because, man, this is the year. This is the year. This is the year for them to get it done. Mm-hmm. And with everything that Lamar's going to have the most weapons of his career. This might be the best offensive unit Harbaugh's ever had at his disposal during his tenure as a Baltimore Raven coach. Monken already having success at Georgia, coming in with these type of weapons. Come on now, man. Listen, this is the year, man. This is the year. I want to see 8 and those guys holding that Lombardi and grinning at every person that was a naysayer. Listen, man, that's all I want to see.
Yeah.
I want to see it, man. I want to see it.
Yeah, that would be lovely, man. That would be obviously the perfect way to a season, to end the season, to end the football season. They head into the off season as like imagine that feeling. It's been a long time. It's since 2013.
Yeah.
That was the last year that we went into the off season. Like, oh man, like they even just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, it felt good. And what I tell people, like, man, Ravens win the Super Bowl, I'm good for like 5 years, man. I'm straight, man. Like, cause they won it. Like, well, I mean, it would be even better if they could be like the Chiefs or even the Patriots and stuff. Would be spoiled. Them 2 Super Bowls within 4 or 5 years. But
if Zay turns into it, they can be. If Zay turns into what you and a lot of people think he is, even what I'm hoping he could be, they could be, bro. This could be the making. We could literally be watching the making of a dynasty, and that in it itself should frighten all the other NFL teams. Because then, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Come on now, man. And then people might come here just to win one for cheap. We might end up getting some guys that are still superstars, but on the downside of their career that really want that ring. So, you know how it goes.
So that Patriot Chiefs sort of syndrome. That would be something. Because I know guys have done that in the past on defense. But would they
imagine that on offense? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Bro, it got me feeling light. Bro.
So yeah, that would be different, man. That would be
man.
That would be different. Something that we definitely not used to. But again, all of the stuff that's been going on, we ain't used to, but we will gladly take it.
Very much so.
So, anyway, appreciate y'all watching. Appreciate y'all coming through. Whether you watching this on my channel, you watching on his channel, Ingraven Viz or Nitro, the Wunderkind Show. We appreciate all of y'all.
Yes.
Thank you, all of y'all. Anybody that's not subscribed to the Wunderkind Show, just do it ASAP. Just click the subscribe button.
Hit the like button, too.
Yeah, click the like button, too, and that's important.
Same thing for him, too. Shout out to Ing. Bro, thanks for being out here, bro.
No,
thanks for being out here, bro.
Of course, man. Ain't nothing, man.
Yeah, bro.
So, appreciate y'all watching. Thank you for watching. And we out, man.
And y'all know my slogan. Peace. And we are out of here. Yerp.